Hi everyone. Hello parents, especially. Today's video is all about will my child be ready to handle money as an adult? If you are a parent of an autistic teen, you've probably wondered this, and you're not alone. There are so many people out there who are having the same struggles and worries. So today we're going to talk about how to set money management goals with your teen to prepare them for a more independent future. This is part of a much larger, longer, more complicated journey, which is helping your child build life skills for adulthood. So, we're going to dive in. It can be a big topic, but we're just going over some of the basics today. Before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about us. We are autism services for teens and young adults. I'm a licensed occupational therapist, as are all of our staff. We're trained in neurodevelopment and techniques for adapting daily tasks to help teens and young adults on the spectrum achieve their money goals and larger dreams in general. We understand that the brain can be trained and rewired to learn useful new skills and information for adulthood. Our website is linked in the show description. Please visit that website for more resources on guiding your teen to a wonderful, independent adult life that you and they are dreaming of. So, part one, we're going to talk about why planning even matters. Why does money management matter? Um, your child is probably coming into an age where it would be appropriate for them to be managing money. They're kids and it feels like so long, and then all of a sudden they're adults, but they will spend most of their life as an adult. Um, and I think with autistic kiddos, we spend a lot of energy and effort on teaching them those basic foundational skills, and then services tend to drop off as they get older. And so we want to focus on those adult skills. Money touches every single part of adulthood: housing, food, hobbies, transportation, socializing, or having a relationship costs money, to go out on a date or to hang out with your friends at the movies or anything like that costs money. So, this is really about them having an independent adulthood. Money management is not just about math, though, it's about routines, decision making, self advocacy, confidence, and safety. All of those things kind of build that bigger picture of what adulthood is. So, as soon as possible, when your child is in middle school or even high school, it's not too late. No matter what period of life they're in, it's not too late. But as soon as possible, it's really great to start learning these skills and talking about them with your child. We're going to go into how to create a specific vision of your child's financial life. So, what goals they have. You can start asking them questions like, what kind of job would you like to have? Where do you see yourself living in the future? Would you like to have a car someday? What is something that is important to you when it comes to money? Um, Everyone's going to have a different answer, just like everybody else in the world, if you have autism or not. So, this is really an important conversation to have with your child so that you can start helping them stay on track and make goals according to those dreams that they do have. We like to use SMART goals, which SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So, an example of that is, instead of saying, like, I just want to be rich. Okay, well, that's great, but we need to make it really a lot more specific so that we know if we're on track or not. So, something specific is, I want to buy an art kit. It costs $200. So I need to save, and I want to buy it before the end of this year. So each month I would need to save this amount of money. And so in that way you have a very realistic goal. You know exactly how much you need to save and you know what you're working towards and by when you want to have it done. And then you can practice a couple more money related goals that aren't as specific. So you can learn, for example, how to track spending using an app like budgeting apps or even just doing it by hand or on a spreadsheet. Um, Practicing how to open a debit card or learning about what a credit card is and how to use it responsibly. Um, Learning about student loans if they're interested in going to school, learning about wants versus needs, or this is really important, I think, learning to recognize scams and staying safe when you are buying things online. You can also, there are so many tools for this, and we do have a really um, good blog post for some productivity type of apps on our website, but um, like keeping track of budgets and things. There are a lot of apps for that, but you can also use um, Google Docs, drawings. You can make your own charts that make more sense for you. A lot of people have already made templates for savings goals or debt payoff trackers, things like that. So definitely just do as much Google searching as you want to find the tools that make it easy for you to visualize and your child to stay on track. Um, Really important part of this is to just make it fun and motivating. It doesn't need to feel like school. You can keep things light. Um, Having financial literacy can be really freeing and can be really a confidence boost because instead of just spending and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know how much money I can spend this month, I don't know what I'm doing with money, it can build your confidence and make you feel like, no, I know that I'll be okay if I splurge on this item that I've been wanting. So, you can just frame it like that. It can be a positive thing to learn about budgeting and financial literacy. You can also incorporate for your child small rewards like choosing a movie or, you know, a reward that they're building up to for a savings goal. Um, and you can break those down even into smaller mini goals. You can also watch, when you're watching TV, you can bring up conversations about how the people on TV are managing their money or use examples from characters that your child really knows and likes. You can also have them go to the store with you and practice buying, or you can have them go to the bank with you and, you know, show them step by step how you deposit money in an ATM, for example, things that you are already doing that you just are going to give them that extra teaching moment and say, okay, yeah, usually, you know, you're listening to your headphones while we're buying things, but today you're going to help me and we're going to go through step by step how I do this. That can be a really great learning opportunity. You can also turn things into games. If you really want to get creative, you can set a budgeting challenge, like for the month. If you save this amount of money, whoever saves the most money gets a little prize, or just play like a Price is Right game. Guess how much this gallon of milk costs. Things like that can be really fun ways to incorporate financial learning into your family. And then a really important part of this as a parent is to step back and know when to ask for help. Obviously, raising a child as we all know, especially a child with special needs, um, takes a village. And your teen might not always want to listen to you, for one. They might not be open to learning about this, and you might feel really frustrated and lost. If you feel like this is something that is really important to your family and that you want your child to learn, there are resources out there to help you. You can always hire an occupational therapist or bring someone in that has experience doing financial literacy for teens, or specifically, you can do some Google searches for people who work specifically with neurodiverse learners, either OTs or financial literacy coaches. Um, OTs can help because we can kind of learn how your child learns best and help them break down bigger concepts into smaller, more manageable things and really adapt that learning to your child. And then really lean on your support circle. Use your child's teachers, talk to transition specialists, other parents that have kids that might be older than you. You can talk to financial planners. There are all kinds of people out there who can help you. Asking for help, just as a reminder, not a sign that you're doing anything wrong. This is just part of what it is to be a parent. Everyone needs help. So, another just quick tip that I want to throw in there is to not wait for the school to take the lead on this. Even if your teen does have an IEP, financial goals are rarely addressed. Usually it's the goals that are addressed are just related to school, and schools tend to have really high caseloads, and they might just kind of your child might get a little bit lost in the shuffle, especially as they get older. So definitely try to advocate for your child as much as you can and make sure that they are aware that that's something that's important to you, that they talk about in their school day at some point. Be sure to start small. Things like managing an allowance is a really great way to practice. Even doing something as simple as opening a savings account or kind of just learning the general prices of things, having to, buy small necessity items can be a really good way to start, even if it's with your money, just giving them money and saying, okay, we need more, you need more lotion, you need more body wash. Let's go to the store and I'll give you money to buy it, and then you can practice, having them learn how much things actually cost and what's realistic and what's not. Definitely try to be consistent. You don't want to wait until they're 18, 19, and then say, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to teach you about money. So let's do it all right now in this one weekend. Much better to start early and just do tiny increments. Make it part of your lifestyle, do a little bit more consistently rather than a bunch all at once. And then let your child take the lead and have a little bit of control in as many ways as possible, especially with neurodivergent kids and teens. I find that a lot of them feel safer with a higher level of control over their situation. And it can also build motivation to just have more ownership over what is happening to them. So definitely try to give them some options, let them set goals, and get their buy-in. Teach them and explain to them why learning about money is important. If you want to have a car one day, you're gonna need to save money for it. If you want to have a girlfriend one day, you need to have money to take her out on a date or living independently, things like that. That can kind of put things into context and help build that rapport, or sorry, not the rapport, the buy-in for why it's important to learn about finances. So, there you have it. Building money skills is not just boring math. It can be fun and interesting and build confidence and will help your child build a strong foundation for their adulthood. You can do this, your child can too, with a little planning, with a little creativity, patience, and some help if you need it. It's totally possible to build financial literacy skills in middle school, high school, and beyond, no matter when you start. Um, if you have concerns that your child might not be able to be safe with their money or that they might be taken advantage of in some way, you can check out our other video on tips and strategies to help protect your child from things like that. And there are also a lot of great resources online about scam prevention learning. Please visit our website again for some great resources on how to teach your teen to track spending. And then, if this video helped you, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with another parent who you think it might help. Drop your questions or tips in the comments. We'd love to hear what has worked for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.